One thing I'm coming to really learn and appreciate with making clothes with time is if you don't understand the building blocks that you're working with, you're going to have an outcome that doesn't work the way you want it to. What's up, Katie Bats, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Priscilla. I'm a Nigerian women's wear designer based in the UK, and in this video I'm going to be sharing my review, let's just call it a review, of the Textilepedia by the Fashionary. This is the complete fabric guide. This is what the book looks like, and I'm going to be talking you guys through my first impressions, talking through the content, the structure, and if this book is a good investment if you're someone who is looking to get into fabrics, into textile, or just to learn more about the importance of understanding fabric in the fashion design process. I'm going to be giving away a free copy of the Textilepedia book, so make sure to watch up until the end to find out how you can enter the giveaway and win a copy of this book for yourself. With that out of the way, let's jump straight into the video. Let's talk first impressions. The actual book itself is covered in this beige fabric that has a little bit of texture to the surface. And then the title of the book is actually raised. Like if you look on here, it says Textilepedia. So the letters itself look like they've been stitched into the book, which gives it a very nice feel. The overall vibe is very minimalist, very clean. And the edges of the pages are like a nice shade of a mixture of blue and purple, and I just love the contrast of these edges here and then the actual cover of the book. Now let's actually get into the content of the book. I say this is one of those books that I say even if you read it once or twice, you find yourself coming back, because there are just some things that you might not remember, or some things that you might not find very useful at that stage of your creative journey, your designing journey. So it is a really nice guide. This is what the inside pages look like. The beginning have like silver metallic feel to the page. It starts off with fibers, which is essentially the actual content of the fabric. So they don't just talk about the fabric itself. It starts from fibers, so plant fibers, animal fibers, regenerated and synthetic, before we now dive into like weaves. So weaves like your cottons, your chiffon, so on and so forth. And then there's a whole section about knits, a whole section about like lace and netting, hides, so that's like your leathers, like animal skin, and at the end they cover like colors and patterns. So it is a very well structured book. I give them that. This is something that I say you can just start from the beginning, like I'm doing here. I'm basically just taking my time going through it chapter by chapter, and when I find something that I think is quite interesting, I leave a post-it and I write on the edge of the post-it what it is. So if I'm coming back again, I know exactly where I found that. Or I could come to the table of content in the front and actually just like browse through and look for what I want to find. As someone who is a scatterbrain, I appreciate the fact that each section is organized in a way that is visually easy to understand. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm just going to open a page here. So there are pictures of the actual fiber on one side, and then it shares history of the fiber, description of the fiber, how it's grown. And I really like the fact that there are sustainable options or sustainability or like environmental impact of some of these fibers or fabrics included in there. So you know when you're making your decision as a designer, you know the impact that your choice is going to make on the environment. This is in the weave, like twill weaves. So this is a picture of the fabric on this side of the page, which is really like the picture quality is really good. That from far it looks like it's actually a fabric swatch that has been stuck on here, but these are pictures, just really high quality pictures. And then it talks through the properties of the fabric. In this case is herringbone, which is a twill weave, and this is a distinctive fabric featuring a V-shaped pattern commonly used as suiting fabric. So this is what it looks like on here. And then the book breaks down the properties, the story behind the fabric, which I actually think is very, very useful to know, and then the common applications, which I think is one of my favorite parts of this book. Is it tells you what the fabric is, what the fabric can do, and then how you can actually use it as a creative. I just think that's actually quite cool, and it breaks it down like that for every single every single fabric that they explore in here. So when you go to page, what page is this? Page 130. From there up until the chapter about knits, so this is for the woven, there is a comparison. Oh, how did I miss this the first time? What? Let me show you what I mean. I need to come close and show you guys what I mean. So they compare different fabrics side by side for different garment groups. So for suits, so these are all the possible fabrics that you can use to make suits. And then it tells you the twill weave, it tells you the fiber in the fabric, it tells you if it's shiny or matte, it tells you if it's soft. Wow, that is actually so clever. And then look, for shirts, these are the different fabrics that you can use to make shirts, and then what is made from, if it's soft, if it's matte. Wow, that is what? Like, look, workwear. There's like different fabrics you can use to make workwear, like denim, canvas, and then like the construction, if it's soft, if it's matte, the composition of the fibers. Oh wow, I've been sold. Sorry, I've been sold, but fully converted. This book is a good investment. I'm sorry, if you don't have it already as a designer, what are you waiting for? From chapter 9, you get into color, motifs, and patterns, and then you see different types of, different types of stripes, different types of weaves, different types of patterns, like commonly found versions, not like is everything that exists in the world, but commonly found patterns and motifs that often exist or are made on fabric. And then there's a whole section about like color, different shades of color, and the names of the colors as well. So coral pink, cameo pink, rose, they all look very similar, but there's a slight variation to the different colors and the names that they have. So my first pro is price-wise. This book costs £24 and a little bit, so it's actually not too pricey for the amount of information that it offers. The second pro I would say is I love how it's organized. You have no idea how I'm such a scatterbrain. I keep saying that thing. I'm like the perfect way to describe me is I'm messy organized. So I know where everything is, but they're just scattered everywhere. So when I find things that help me organize and arrange information in a way that makes sense to me, I really appreciate it. So in terms of con, I wish they had real fabrics in there. Like instinctively, when I would open a page that had something like this, I found myself going in to actually touch like it was real fabric. But I see why. If they put real fabric in here, the book will become bulky very quickly, and it won't stay flat, because you're gonna have like layers of fabrics, knitted, woven. It's going to make the book feel really big, and it's not going to be able to stay flat. So if they're going to make another version of this, or maybe it already exists and I don't even know, please include actual fabric swatches. For someone who doesn't know or has not worked with tweed before, like I have worked with tweed and I know what it feels like. It's such a shame that they can't actually touch and feel the different fabrics that they have shared in this book. So fabric samples in there would have been a great plus, but I see why it was not added. The second thing is I wish they had included more indigenous fabrics, like maybe fabrics from Africa, from Asia. I don't know, I just feel like there was the opportunity there that they could have, just tapped more into more indigenous fabrics with like, Asian or African or European. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased because I'm Nigerian, but I think that's something that maybe one or two they could have definitely explored or added in here to just make it more far-reaching. Who is this book for? I would say this book is for, fashion students, people who are learning fashion design, who are getting into creating garments. It will really help you understand the process of creating garments a lot better, because you understand different fibers, you see what they look like, you see how they can be used, the impact they have on the environment, how to care for the different fabrics as well. I think this book is a great gift for someone who is a fashion student, for someone who is an independent designer like myself, who wants to explore other fabrics that they can work with to use for their collections, for their products. I definitely recommend. And then if you're someone who is just, curious about textiles, about fabrics, about how they're made, is something that I think you would enjoy reading and using. One thing I'm coming to really learn and appreciate with making clothes with time is if you don't understand the building blocks that you're working with, you're going to have an outcome that doesn't work the way you want it to. So if you don't understand the right fibers, you don't understand the right fabrics, you don't know which two fabrics can go together, would wash and wear well, it's going to affect the customer's wearing experience of your garment. I think that's why I'll be getting a lot more into like fabrics and textiles, because then I know I'm not just using the same Ankara, I'm not just using the same jacquard. I can actually go in and be like, okay, I know I want to make a gown. What other fabrics can I use? What other fabrics can I explore? This book really breaks it down, because for each section, especially like in the fabric section for like woven and knit, they show you common uses for the different fabrics. So as promised in the beginning, I'm going to be giving away a free copy. Let me show her. This is mine. This is one I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving away a free copy of the Textilepedia to one lucky winner, to one lucky K-Diva. And this giveaway is open globally. To enter the giveaway, comment down below your favorite fabric that you love to work with and why. And I'll pick one person randomly. Just randomly, I'm just going to select one person, and the winner will be announced 1 week from when this video goes live. It will be announced on my YouTube community page, which is where I normally do like posts and share if I have like a new video on the channel. So if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe so you don't miss when that announcement goes up. Winner will be announced, winner will be contacted, and you receive a free copy of this amazing tool that I think, if you're a designer or you're a creative, you definitely find very, very useful. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Until my next video, have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.